Friends, throughout the long and complex history of human civilization, we have always found a deep, haunting peace in believing that we had finally solved the absolute mystery of the universe's beginning. We read it in our textbooks, we were taught it in our schools, and we watched it in grand cinematic documentaries. The story that 13.8 billion years ago, a singular, massive explosion known as the Big Bang occurred, and from that violent, blinding spark, the clock of time itself began to tick for the very first time. But in December 2021, when the James Webb Space Telescope opened its massive, segmented golden eye and peered into the infinite, cold, and silent abyss of deep space, the reality it witnessed left NASA's greatest minds in a state of absolute shock and disbelief. Webb has captured ancient, fully formed galaxies like Jade's GS Z13-0 and Sears 93316, monstrous structures that existed a mere 200 to 300 million years after the Big Bang. For decades, our standard model of cosmology has been screaming that it is physically impossible for matter to gather, stabilize, and form such massive adult structures in such a microscopic window of cosmic time. Scientists are now forced to call these universe breakers because these galaxies aren't just faint, glowing clouds of infant dust. They contain billions of ancient stars and highly complex, organized structures that shouldn't have been able to grow so fast. Think about the sheer horror of this discovery. It's exactly like walking into a kindergarten classroom and, instead of small toddlers, finding 6-foot-tall titans and 80-year-old elders sitting in the tiny chairs. The established laws of physics state that a galaxy needs at least 1 to 2 billion years of slow, painful evolution to reach this level of maturity. Yet Webb is witnessing them fully formed and massive when the universe was effectively just a few days old. In cosmic terms, this has birthed the most terrifying and fundamental question of our era. Was our entire calculation of the Big Bang a complete and utter lie? Nobel Prize winner Adam Rees now admits that the Hubble tension isn't just a minor mathematical glitch or a human error. It is a full-blown cosmic crisis, signaling that our universe might be many billions of years older than we ever dared to imagine. Recently, Webb discovered a structure so vast it defies the very logic of space itself. The Big Ring, spanning an incredible 1.3 billion light-years. It is so massive that according to our current laws of nature, it shouldn't even exist. This forces us to ask, what if there was no starting point for time at all? What if we are trapped in an infinite, cyclic universe that is born, dies, and is resurrected in an endless, agonizing loop? Webb has proven that the darkness we gaze into is far deeper, far older, and far more sinister than our understanding. What we worshipped as reality was perhaps only a flickering half-truth that is now dying a slow, painful death before our eyes. But the true existential dread isn't just about the size of these galaxies. The real terror lies in the impossible black holes sitting at their hearts, mocking every scientific logic we possess. Under standard physics, a supermassive black hole is formed when a massive star dies, creates a tiny seed, and spends billions of years devouring everything in its path to grow. Yet, Webb has detected black holes at the center of galaxies like UHZ-1 that were already as heavy as 100 million suns immediately after the Big Bang. They simply did not have the time to exist. Where did these wells of absolute death come from? Scientists are now desperately clinging to a theory that sounds like a cosmic horror script, a direct collapse theory. It suggests that in the early universe, gargantuan clouds of primordial gas, without ever forming a star, without ever emitting a single ray of light, collapsed directly under the crushing, horrific weight of their own gravity and became primordial black holes. This shows that from the very first second, our universe was obsessed more with destruction than with creation. These black holes were devouring the very fabric of the early universe so fast that stars never had a chance to be born. Imagine a darkness that begins consuming light the very moment it is born. The cosmic dawn was not a beautiful sunrise, it was a horrific battlefield, where gargantuan monsters swallowed entire galaxies before they could even breathe. Webb has also proven that in the early universe, time itself moved 5 times slower than it does today, meaning we are witnessing a slow-motion catastrophe from the past. It is bone-chilling to realize that the universe we consider an ideal cradle for life was actually built on the pillars of void and consumption. The opening chapters of our universe are not a story of a beginning, but a saga of a hungry, sentient darkness that is still staring at us from across the void today. Now, let us descend into a mystery that runs not on light, but on eternal shadow. The James Webb Telescope has captured point sources that we initially mistook for galaxies, but revolutionary research from the University of Texas suggests these are dark stars. These are not stars as we know them. Imagine a monstrous sphere, 1,000,000 times larger than our sun, shining with a brilliance that can blind an entire sector of space. But it is not powered by hydrogen fusion. It feeds on the violent annihilation of dark matter, that ghostly substance that makes up 85% of the universe, but has never been touched or detected by human hands. These stars are as vast as our entire solar system, and their light exists only in the infrared, meaning if you stood before them, you would see nothing but blackness, even as you were incinerated by their phantom heat. These are the invisible gods that ruled the first morning of time, and their existence is a warning. The light-filled world we see is just a small, anomalous error, a wandering spark in an ocean of shadow. The lifespan of these dark stars could be so immense that they may survive until the very end of time, when the last living star fades and every galaxy turns into a frozen tomb. These dark stars will still rule the void, long after the memory of humanity has been erased from existence. In the end, James Webb has pulled back the veil on our greatest fear. We thought we were masters of our domain, but Webb has shown that we are merely a cosmic accident. When we looked at systems like TRAPPIST-1, the reality murdered our last shreds of hope. Those planets that looked like paradises from a distance are actually just floating, airless corpses, their life-giving atmospheres brutally stripped away by their own suns. This great silence is a terrifying window into our own inevitable future. But the ultimate horror is the Great Attractor, an invisible, unknown force pulling millions of galaxies, including our own Milky Way, at a staggering 2 million kilometers per hour toward a destination we cannot see. We are drifting helplessly toward a cosmic drain where matter, light, and time itself will be obliterated into nothingness. This universe is not a beautiful garden. It is a vast, cold graveyard where every shining star is just a fading tombstone of something that died long ago. We went searching for light only to discover that we are standing in the center of an infinite silence, waiting for a destruction that began long before we existed. Webb has shone a torch into that abyss and shown us a face we were never meant to see. Now, the question is no longer about discovery, it is about survival. When the darkness takes its next step, will there be anyone left in this cold universe to tell our story? The next time you look up at the night sky, remember, the beauty you see is a lie. The reality is hidden in that silence, and it is finally starting to speak.